Please heard me. Oh, please stop. You're embarrassing me. Yeah. You're going to find out real quickly this is not a chemistry test. Played 14 years in the minor leagues. It didn't make me a household name. I played in 1,591 minor league games. I was really glad to see I had 1,592 hits. I ended up getting 2 hits in each league in the big leagues, 2 with the Indians in 1990 and 2 with the Mets in 1992. So probably not the career path you're looking for if you're a player or for your kid. But for what I was when I started, I'll take those 2 hits in each league. When I was a freshman in high school, I was 4'11", 90 pounds. Right down. I was about this big. Got all the girls, right? Yeah. There's those kids see. I had 3 at-bats the whole year. I coached first base. I probably only made the team because my brother was a star on the team. My sophomore year in high school, I stayed on soft Rosh. All my buddies were on JV and varsity, but I got to play this year. And that was important, right? My next year as a junior in high school, all my buddies are on varsity, and I'm on JV, but I got to play. So now it's my senior in high school. I'm 5'8", 140 pounds now, the small senior in high school. But I grew 9 inches. I just went from tiny to small, right? I'm small senior in school, 5'8", 140 pounds, but it's my time to shine. I had a pretty good JV year, was best hitter on the team, and I'm going to show the coach that I can play. And I had a sophomore take my job. I did not start my senior in high school. I coached first base. I said, I got this. I've been doing it a long time, right? I live in Huntington Beach, California, and my brother, he played 6 years of pro baseball. He went to Golden West Junior College. There's probably 50 schools within a 50-mile radius from me. I did not get one phone call to come play for me. Not one. And my brother goes to Golden West Junior College, and I'm thinking, you know what? The coach knows I'm coming there. He didn't even have to call me. Where else am I going to go, right? So I go out for the team during the summer, and I got cut. How bad did the coach think I sucked? Right? My brother's a star on the team, and I get cut. Right? That still blows me away. And 3 days later, I'm home watching Oprah with my mom, not knowing what I'm going to do, and my brother comes home with a uniform for me because 3 guys quit. Right? I'm 19 years old. I'm a freshman in college. I got 3 at-bats the whole year. I'm coaching first base. I got it, right? And I played in the big leagues. Guys, don't let anybody tell you that you're too small to play this game. Right? Nobody knows where you're going to go except for God, and that's it. I'm saying you don't even have to grow. Well, some of you guys do. 12-year-olds do it. Right? But what's Dustin Pedroia? 6'5"? This guy's 5'7" with a good pair of cleats on. Right? He can shrink 2 inches and be a big league all-star. This is not about being tall. It's not about being 6'4". It's about being a baseball player. I've scouted my whole life, and when I see that guy that's 6'4", just digging himself, glasses on the top of his head, up my pants look, my antennas go up. I'm not getting tricked by a good body. Right? I'm not getting tricked by a good body. I don't care what you look like. Right? I need a baseball player. I need body strength. Right? I need some instincts. But I do not need 6'4". Fortunately, I grew 4 inches when I was 20 years old. Right? Now, I go from a second-string second baseman to an all-conference shortstop in 1 year. Now I'm 6 foot, 170 pounds. I'm starting to get looked at by schools. I had a full ride to UC Irvine. I had a full ride to UCLA. And you know what? I'm going to UCLA. My dad's favorite school. My buddy Rich Amaral, who played 9 years in the big leagues, is going there. And he didn't get to the big leagues until he was 29 years old. He got 8.5 years up there. Right? This guy persevered. And I'm going there. And it was the greatest 5 days of my life. And then he looked at my transcript. He's like, really, buddy? You took badminton? Golf? Guys, where are the kids at? Right? I know your parents know nothing. I got a couple kids, right? Listen to them. Get good grades. Right? Let your ability dictate where you're going to go to school. I had a full ride to UCLA and I couldn't get in. You think my dad was pissed? Feel like that. He was. Right? So I ended up going to the big baseball powerhouse up north, University of Utah. I froze my butt off. I hurt my arm. Never played in that kind of weather out there. And I ended up DHing the whole year. I had a really good year offensively. I was all whack DH. And this is the best thing about baseball. Because whether you're in travel ball, high school, college, pro, you're going to get evaluated by somebody every single day. Right? And we were playing Brigham Young one day, and everybody was there to see Rick Aguilera, Wally Joyner, Corey Snipe. Parents, you might know those names. Every one of them played 15 years in the big leagues, right? Kevin Towers was on that team, right? GM, Scott Nielsen was on that team. And I went 5 for 5, 2 doubles, a home run, and 5 RBIs that day. With 50 scouts in the stands. They had no idea who I was. It was the very first day I ever played the outfield in my life, and I sucked in the outfield. I was brutal, right? I had terrible gut perception. Ball would be hit, my buzz was bouncing. I'm like, where is it, right? That's why the scouts saw me. He never even heard of me, right? So I get drafted by the New York Mets in the 20th round, 1982. Same year as Dwight Gooden. You know, great athlete. This guy could pitch in the big leagues as a 17-year-old. He was so good, right? So I go to Little Falls, New York. I hit 246 with 11 home runs. Just did okay. Who wants to play in college here down the road? Absolutely. Every hand should go up. Who wants to play pro ball one day? Keep them up, guys. Greatest game in the world, right? Nobody's playing in the big leagues with the body or sport. Right? So we got to go home. We got to lift. We got to get stronger. You guys need to get stronger. You should need to pick up a bat until January. Right? Go back with a new body. Right? Bigger, stronger, faster. So I go home. My brother got picked up by the Tigers, and we're lifting. And like I said, I hit 246, 11 home runs. Lifted all off season. Start hitting in January, and I go to my first spring training. And I barely make the low A ball team as the 5th outfielder. I'm still playing the outfield, right? I get like 30 at-bats the first month of the season. Guess what I'm doing? Coach at first base again, right? I got this, guys. I've been doing it my whole life. You're not going to get a better first base coach, right? Well, about a month into the season, our second baseman got traded. And I told my coach, I said, Coach, man, I'm an infielder, right? I want to try and play second base. And he looked at me, he paused, and he said, thank God, you suck in the outfield. I'm like, I know, I'm an infielder. Trust me, I hear you, you're right. And so he lets me play second base, and everything's going pretty good. 8th inning ground ball double play right between my legs. So that sort of sucks. So I didn't play that for about a week. Coached first base again, playing a little more outfield, and then he gives me another chance to play second base. Now everything's going really good, right? 8th inning ground ball, double play, right between my legs again. But I got 4 hits that day. Right? You guys want to play at the next level? You want to play at the level you're at right now? What do we have to do? We got to hit, right? I end up playing every single day the rest of the year. I end up leading the league in hits. At 165 hits, I was second league in hit behind Vince Coleman, who could fly. I had 50 hits in August, and I still didn't know what I was doing yet. Right? So now I'm sort of a prospect. I just led a league in hits, right? Now I'm sort of digging myself a little bit. Like, hey, yeah, that's right, I can hit. And I go home, and I'm lifting, I'm getting bigger, stronger, faster with my brother. And I go to my second spring training. Now I'm working out with high A. And so I'm working out, and the farm director sees me. He says, Spring, how you doing? I said, you know what? I don't mean to be an idiot here, but I just led a league in hits. I don't need another A ball. I should be double A. And he looked at me, paused, and walked away. And I'm like, well, that went great. Didn't see that one coming. But it did go great. Because it made me think the next day I looked at the roster, I was in double A. Right? Some of you guys might not be playing right now. Sucks, doesn't it? Handle it the right way, man. Talk to your coach. Ask him what I need to do. Right? Keep being a good teammate. So I'm in double A now, and we have 18 guys on my team playing the big leagues. We were loaded. The Mets were loaded in the game. Right? We won it all. Who saw Moneyball here? Yeah, cool. I was in his wedding. Okay? Billy Bean, not Brad Pitt now. I was in Billy Bean's wedding. Right? This guy, the movie was exactly what he said. He was 6'4", 220-pound, absolute stud with football mentality. Right? He could not slow the game down. He wasn't a bad player. He was a great athlete. Right? He could throw. He had power. But he also, if he hit 9 balls right on the screws in BP and popped the 10th one up in the cage, he'd come out of there like somebody stole his kid. Just as mad as he could be in practice. Right? It's football mentality. I call it middle linebacker mentality. Right? You guys are going to hear me say the word compete a lot in the next hour. Right? I'm not talking about middle linebacker compete. Right? I'm talking about free safety, slow the game down. Right? If we can slow the game down, we are going to be better players. Right? Lenny Dykstra was on that team. Right? Gamer. A little bit of trouble now. This guy was a gamer, man. This guy knew how to show up every day with confidence. Lenny Dykstra. Right? So, we win it all. Now I'm going to AAA next year. Now let's break this down. 3.5 years ago, I'm coaching first base at college. I'm one step away from the big leagues now. That's how quickly it happened for me. And I spent 11 years in AAA. I feel blessed to say that I got 2 hits in each league. You can't tell me I shouldn't spend 5 years in the big leagues. Right? What I've learned, what we're going to talk about today, is I learned it when it was too late for me. Right? I learned it when I was like 28, 29 years old. And I had no big league experience, and that's really not what they're looking for unless you're in the perfect spot, right? And anybody that knows anything about me knows what the most evil thing in baseball is, the thing that destroys more young kids than anything in the game. I got some pro guys right here, right? And they're going to figure out that their career starts when they say, I don't care what I hit. How stupid does that sound? We all care what we hit. I'm saying the batting average is the biggest trap in the game. Your career starts today when you say, I don't care what I hit. Why is my goal my batting average when I can do everything right and go 0 for 4? Makes no sense. I hit 3 balls right on the screws, right at somebody. I beat the pitcher. Pitcher knows I beat him. Right? Pitcher's mom knows I beat him. Right? My batting average comes down like this, and here comes non-confident Steve Springer showing up, and he sucks. He's not good. Every single one of you guys has 2 players. I got a confident guy who's a really good player, and I got the non-confident guy who sucks. So what's the question now? The question is, how do I get the confident guy to show up? And this is what I teach. Right? And this is why I will never ask you guys to get 3 hits. However, I will ask you to be the best competitor on the field with an attainable goal to the ball hard enough team win. Attainable goals. If I took 2 teams and I said, this team I'll give you $1,000 for every time you compete and hit the ball hard and help your team win. And this team, I'll give you $1,000 for every time you get a hit. What team you want to be on? It's no brainer, right? This is an attainable goal, right? But what's my real goal? I gotta get a hit. How many hits did you get today? What's your batting average? Right? These guys played for 6 months. They came home and haven't seen their buddy in 6 months, and the first one out of everybody's mouth, what do you hit? What do you hit? It's a trap. Right? I give you guys permission not to be perfect. I give you permission not to get 3 hits in your next game. Oh, thank you. Right? Now I can play. Now I can compete. Right? It's mind-blowing how many players let their mind get in the way of their ability instead of help their ability. You know where the freedom's at? The freedom is in opening day. Opening day, now in the history of the game, nobody has ever walked up to the plate on opening day with no confidence. Why? I got no yesterday getting away. Right? Got no yesterday. I just told a bunch of these kids right here, you got 142 opening days next year. You want some freedom? You want your abilities to come out? Show up at the opening day mentality. Oh, thank you. I got no freedom. I got freedom. Now it's about me helping my team. Right? We got to get great at showing up with a confident guy, with an attainable goal to hit the ball hard and help my team. That is what it's all about. That's the nut of my spiel is getting great at showing up with confidence because I've done good when I have it. If I get you guys to do 4 things every single day for the rest of your career, walk up to the plate with confidence, with an attainable goal to hit the ball hard, attack the inside part of the ball, we'll talk about that in a second. The most important thing that I could do if we had a game tonight is help my team. Right? There's freedom in that. That's not about getting hits. Right? It's about getting great at showing up with confidence to help my team. Here's what we really do. We walk up there with less than 100% confidence. Because my batting average bringing me down. My goal is to get a hit. It's unattainable. Right? I'm hooking balls and hitting hard ground balls to short if I'm right-handed, and second if I'm left. It's all about me. Well, I'm telling you, it's not about you. It's about you helping your team. Get 25 guys to show up like that. I spoke last year at the University of Texas. Augie Burrito, 5-time national champ. Right? I go in there for 3 days. The year before, they came in 9th place out of 9 teams. The top 8 went to the conference championship. So the bottom line is they sucked, right? They weren't very good. He has me coming for 3 days. I give him the same skill I'm giving you for 3 days. Right? I need 25 players showing up with confidence, with an attainable full heart, and help the team win, period. Get rid of the batting average. Get rid of the stats. It's not about you. They were 1 game away in the World Series this year, going to the championship series. With the same exact personnel, with a couple of freshmen sprinkled in. Right? You think it's not mental? Augie Garrido is, you're the best public speaker I've ever heard in baseball. Wow. Right? This is the guy that won 5 national championships, and I'm teaching him to get out of get these players to get out of their own way. And you're fine. But are they showing up? Right? Because if you like your abilities and your abilities aren't showing up, it's not your abilities problem. It's what we're thinking. It's our mind. Right? That's what I did. It's what Matt did for too long. Right? We let our mind get in the way of our ability. You guys know too much now. You know more than 90% of the big leaguers. You'd be amazed how insecure big league players are. It's absolutely mind-blowing. You guys know who Mark Trumbo is? This guy's like my son. I met Mark probably 6 years ago now. I used to hit with Hank Conner when he was 12. And I'm scouting their team. He's with the Angels, I'm with the Blue Jays. And I asked Hank if he wants to go to lunch. He said, yeah. Well, guess who his roommate is? Mark Trumbo, right? Well, Mark wants a free lunch from the new guy, so he shows up, right? So he didn't say 2 words the whole time. I didn't know he was listening, right? I give him my CD, and the next year, that was at the end of the year, the next year he's in AAA, and I get a text from him in April, and it said spring. Had 4 crappy at-bats, couldn't get out of my mind. Want the 5th at-bat, 2-run double, walk off, and beat him. That's when I knew he was in. This is when you know you get what I'm talking about, when you're 0 for 4 strikeouts, and you look at that lineup card in the 9th and say, I need 2 guys to get on so I can be the hero. That's when you know it's what you get. Because here's what we really do when we're 0 for 4 strikeouts in the 9th. Oh man, 2 guys get on and get hit again. Oh, am I right? It's because that little batting average, baby. Oh, it's a little up and down. Oh, that's the runner. Oh, it's on the scoreboard. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. The pitchers are so lucky that hitters don't know what I teach. They're so lucky. Right? If every single hitter walked up to the plate with 100% confidence 5 times a night in the big leagues, the ERA leader would be 5.4. And the average in the league would be 8.7. We don't do it. Because we're basing our success on getting hits. Right? I'm a coach with the Blue Jays right now. I talked them into spending $20,000 on Best Buy gift cards. You guys want to be a Blue Jay, by the way. Right? We have opening day every Monday in our system. Whoever has the most quality at-bats gets a $25 Best Buy gift card. We give them 3 away per team. Right? And you don't even have to get a hit. Right? Now, $1,000 sign, by the way. You don't have to sign for $1 million playing the big leagues. And he was 2 for 20. He got 2 hits, hit 7 balls right on the screws, right at somebody. Got to bunt down a couple guys over. 12 for 20 is going to get you a card. Every time. He's in our 3-hole. Hitting 100 for the week. Having good at-bats. Right? So now we got to get the definition of what a quality at-bat is. Right? And we got it. I mean, everybody knows him. Hit ball hard. Any hit, any RBI, any walk. 8-pitch strikeout, I guess. That's debatable for me. Depends how you got that. We have an annual award, right? And whoever has the most quality at-bats for the year gets a nice max bat, trophy bat, quality at-bat champion on the man, right? And we had a kid named David Cooper win in Double-A the first year we ever did it. Guess what he hit? He hit 255. He had more quality at-bats than anybody on the team. But he had 20 bombs and 80 RBIs. Pretty good in a 4.5-month season, right? His favorite line in what I teach is good hitters line out more. Right? Good hitters line out more. The better hitter you become, the more lineouts you're going to have. If you're not lining out 1 time a game, you're probably not that good at it. Right? You ever seen Joe Mauer beat up a trash can? No, because he knows he can hit. It's that guy that lines out every 4th day. Oh, so lucky. Right? Line out. I told Goldsmith, I said, I want you to line out 5 times. He looked at me like I was an idiot. I said, what? He says, what? I said, yeah, see what you do. You know what he did? think he ended up liking it because then when he lined out, he wasn't as pissed. He was trying. You know who Nolan Arenado is? Third baseman, 22 years old, in the big leagues, back-to-back Gold Glove award winner, right? I played junior football with his dad when I was 8. So I've known Nolan since he was 12, right? And I know when he wants to talk, because he'll shoot me a text and he said, Spring, how you doing? Well, I'm great, buddy. How are you? Right? So I'll call him up, and he had a 28-game hitting streak this year, right? On day number 2, I get a call from him. He said, Spring, I'm getting frustrated, man. I'm lining out too much. I said, good, you dumbass. Line out 5 times tonight. Excuse me, I didn't say that. Line out 5 times tonight. It's not about you. It's about you helping your team. It's about getting confident Nolan to show up. He's a good player. Line out 5 times tonight. He's texting me the whole time. Hey, Spring, how you doing? Hit ball hard, you win? Yes. Right? Get confident Nolan to show up. He's a good player. Right? But here's what happens. Everybody knows this a little bit. Everybody knows that, oh, it's a new day, right? I'll start today. And then that first at bat, we're going to walk up to the plate with 100% confidence because it's a new day. And then we go 0 for 1. And here comes 70% confident guy in the second at bat. Now we're 0 for 2. And so during the game it happens, right? Now that we're in our third and fourth at bat, when heroes are made, and we're up there thinking, oh man, look at a hit. Why? Because it's about me. I'm telling you, it's not about you. It's about you helping your team. You will walk up to the plate with confidence. That is our goal from here on out, guys. I'm good when I have confidence. How do I freaking create confidence is the question. It's attainable, daily goals, hit the ball hard when you win. Right? It's not about me. Oh yeah, and I'm playing another 15 years. There's your little big picture. Right? A lot of you guys are playing another 15 years if you do not let your mind get in the way of your ability. Because I'm telling you right now, scholarships are over in about 4 years as a high school son. Maybe even 3. We're going to give you guys every opportunity to play because they just gave you a lot of money, but it goes away. Right? I mean, I get kids with the Blue Jays that sign for $1 million. And then they pop their first one for 20, and they walk around like this, like somebody stole their dog. Right? Don't pout. Right? I don't care if you get pissed, don't pout. The key is how long do we get pissed for? I got that answer too. 1 hit. Don't be an idiot. As soon as that next hitter hoping out there, take a deep breath and get back into the game. Right? It's amazing how many kids let their mind get in the way of their ability. A.J. Pollock, you guys know who he is? Diamondback center fielder. This guy got my CD when he was 25 years old in AA. Excuse me. He got my CD when he was a sophomore in college at Notre Dame. Right? He underachieved his freshman year, got the CD, listened to it every single day, went out to the Cape, and was MVP of the Cape. Listened to it every day, ends up being a first-round pick for the Diamondbacks. He's like my son now. Right? When I tell you we talk 3 times a week, it's closer to 4 than it is 2. Right? Well, guess who his new best friend is right now? Paul Goldsmith. Pretty good player? Paul Goldsmith is an absolute stud. Right? This guy cruised through the minor leagues, hitting bombs, and this guy's a better person than he is a player. He hits 8 home runs his first September in the big leagues. They give him the job. You're our guy. Okay? First April of his first year, he's hitting 180 with 2, about ready to get sent down. He's worried about what people are thinking. He's worried about his batting there. He's worried about, he's trying to hit the basketball curveball, slide up, change up, He's looking for everything. He's not ready for anything. A.J. Pollock's like, we can call this guy. He's a good guy. So I get a call from Goldsmith, right? I've never seen him swing the bat. I don't know what he looks like. I give him the same spiel I'm giving you guys. Right? Thank God he got 2 hits that night. Right? And he's calling me to a hit spring. I'm doing, right? He started a 17-game hitting streak with 8 home runs. And he's called me twice a month the last 3 years. He said, Spring, you connect the dots for me and make it make sense. And I've never asked him to get 3 hits. I've asked him to be the best competitor on the field and can't be able to hit the ball hard. He helps his team win 1,000 times. At the end of every phone call, I'll say, you know it's not about you, right, buddy? He says, I know. It's about me helping my team. Paul Goldsmith is absolutely great. There's nobody better than showing up with confident ball and attainable to ball hard. He is great at that. at showing up with confidence, and you will be a better player, because the confident guys are going to play, and the non-confident guys not. You guys get that? Go like this. All right, thank you. I went to a Christian retreat about 5-6 years ago. All Major League Baseball players, minor league baseball players, and their wives. It was awesome. I'm in a little 7-man group. I don't know anybody. I'm the oldest person there. Right? And I get to introduce yourself. I said, my name is Steve Springer. I'm the mental coach for the Blue Jays. And I see this little 20-year-old kid just smiling. I said, you got my CD, don't you, buddy? He's like, I can't believe you're here. So I had your CD for 5 years. He was a sandwich pick. He says, I can't wait till I tell my brother-in-law you're here. He's going to flip. I said, who's your brother-in-law? He says, Ben Zobrist. Ben Zobrist got my CD when he was 25 years old in AA. Right? That was the story I was going to tell, but I mixed it up. Right? In AA. And 2 years later, he was an all-star. Just on what he was thinking, just on that batting man. I met Ben that night. He couldn't believe I was there. He gave me a hug. He said, dude, you changed my life. Just because the batting average was wearing him out. He liked his abilities. But non-confident Ben showed up way too much because he was basing it off getting hits instead of getting great at showing up and attaining the hit for hard ups. Once he got great at that, his abilities came out every single day. It's crazy. It's so mind-blowing. Girls softball players there. I spoke to the University of Notre Dame baseball team one day, about 7 years ago, and they set me up a thing at night just like this, and all of a sudden the girls softball team walks in. All 20 girls and their coaches. I'm like, okay, I said, first time I ever spoke. Coach was all in, she bought in, she had a quality at bat chart, she bought 20 CDs from me. About 3 months later, I checked in, I said, how you guys doing? She's like, you don't know? I said, what? She said, the word batting average wasn't said the whole year. We had a full-on quality at bat chart, and we led the nation in hitting. It's awesome. Hitting is hitting, man. It's about getting you to walk up the plate with confidence every single at bat. We're going to take a look at bar and another team win. There's freedom in that. I did it. My first 7 years I played, every year I was trying to hit 300. I had 5 home runs here with 40, 50 RBI, got me a nice little AAA career. When I finally said, I don't care what I hit, it was like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders. And you know the crazy thing about it? Is I still hit between 260 and 290, but my production doubled. Now I got 16, 17 home runs here, 70, 80 RBI. Right? If I would have did that, just like Billy Bean's quote on my website, he said, Spring, if you knew this at 18 instead of learning it at 30, people might know who you were. I'm like, oh, thanks, bud. And everybody's like, is Billy Bean that smart? And I'm like, when you were with me for 3 years, you're going to think that's up. Not kidding. Sort of. Have I talked about the batting average enough? You guys get it? Career starts today. For sure today. When you say, I don't care what I did now, how stupid does that sound? We all care what we did. Do you know the bottom line is? I'm trying to help you get your hottest batting average. There's not a confident Steve Springer batting average and a non-confident Steve Springer batting average. There's one. Can I get a little truer scale on who's showing up, please? Right? By getting the confident guys show up. All right. Talk about watching the picture on my CD. The CD that you guys got, the white one's my audio. The blue one is the DVD. Okay? Watch the picture every pitch he makes. This was absolutely huge for me. Right? I had a guy named Tommy McCraw. Right? This guy was my mentor, man, but he was a roving guy. Right? This is how I got the idea for the CD. Is every time this guy was around, I was a study. I'd be thinking right. I was confident. He was my belief coach. Right? He thought I was good, which made me think I was good. Right? And as dumb as I was smart to realize that he was around, I was good, so I went into his room with a tape recorder. That's the little thing we used to talk to you about a long time ago. And he was nice enough to talk to me about me, right? For 20 minutes. And if I was in my car for the last 7 years, it was on. And he asked me a question, he said, Spring, when does it start? And I said, Tommy, when I'm in the on-deck circle, man, and I can really see the picture really good, he said, Spring, hitting starts when you pick up the paper in the morning, get on the internet nowadays, you see who's pitching, and you start visualizing yourself, it missiles off the sky. They taught me that the mind doesn't know the body's not doing it. The mind doesn't know the body's not doing it. If I took half the room right here, and I said, go take batting practice, and I took this half, and I said, go visualize for 10 minutes, if you hit missiles off a Verlander, and ask me who I'm taking in the game, who I have confidence in, I'll take the guy this half of the room and take a bad swing. Because they're visualizing success. These guys are visualizing, oh, they're putting balls off their leg, you're losing confidence, like my driving range, here they go. Right? So it's about getting great at watching the pitcher every pitch he makes. Right? I'm going to ask you the stupidest question that you're going to hear all year. Is it easier to hit one pitch when you know it's coming or three and you don't? Ridiculous, right? Tell me what's coming. Pretty good hitter, right? If I told you here comes a fastball 100% and you can't put a good swing on it, go play soccer. Right? You gotta be able to do that. Right? Oh, don't, I'm a soccer mom, so get all over me now. Right? It's just an amazing thing. But we try to get everything, and we're not ready for anything. Right? That's the way it is. I scout. I've scouted my whole life, other than last year. I scouted Dodgers' whole system. You know how many times I wrote down this guy's got a crappy swing? Maybe once. They all got good swings that wouldn't be there. Now their approach, their mind, their confidence level, their compete level needs some work. But it's not the swing. Right? This is why there's 40 rounds in the draft. This is why first rounders can't get out of A-ball and guys not drafted spend 10 years in the big leagues. Right? It's about approach, it's about competing, it's about confidence. They all got good swing. I signed Rod Barajas, like 16 years in the big leagues, for $500. Who would have thought I gave him like $500,000? He was so happy. Right? I signed Lyle Overbay, just retired this year. I went to that same conference, PIO, last week. He was there. 17 years he signed for $1,000. I told him the story. My area scout didn't even want to turn him in. He said, Spring's got to slow back. I looked at his stats, he said 400 with 25. I said, that slow bat was on time 25 times, buddy. Right? There's somewhere on your list to prove you wrong on this guy. And that made sense to him, so he turned him in. Right? And I saw him play the outfield. We're in the 18th round, and I'm in the draft room, and my boss says, Spring, can Overblay play first base? I said, yes. I didn't know. 425, yes! So we take him. I call up the area guy up and I said, you might overpay a little bit? He's like, Spring's got to slow back. I said, well, give that slow bat $1,000 and send him to Missoula. He had 100 RBIs in 60 games. He set a record for the league. Right? You don't know. Right? You don't know what a kid's going to do until he gets the opportunity to toe it up every single day. And if you don't think the mental side's important, you're missing the boat. Now, I got rid of my batting average. I'm walking up to the plate with confidence. I'm not trying to hit the fastball curveball slide change the boat like I used to. Everybody's like, oh, Spring, man. You're a guest hitter. Yeah, well, I'm leading the team in ribs too. Right? And it's not, you know what? Hey, let's go sit on breaking ball. No, I told the Blue Jay players, you don't have 5 at-bats today, you got 25. But 20 of them when your buddies are hitting, you're watching that pitch, you're studying for the test. Right? I see the little lefty out there, and he's throwing the 2-1 change-ups to my buddy. Right? Now I got this in my mind now. And now I come up with runners on second, third, I've already smoked this fastball. You think I'm seeing the middle of the fastball? No way. Now all of a sudden I start sitting on something I'm going to get, not what I want to hit. Right? What if I'm sitting breaking ball because I think I'm going to get it? I've already smoked this fastball and he throws me a fastball right down the middle. Yeah, one pitch, I take it. We all know umpires suck, right? Like on a ball. Hope there's no umpires in here. That was I didn't say you were a good person. But we're just like, yeah. Running on my downtown, all of them suck, some suck worse than others. But they're nice people. I didn't say that. And so now I'm sitting on something I'm going to get. Why do I want to try and get a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, 84-mile-an-hour slider, a 73-mile-an-hour curveball, and a change at 0-0? Well, my job's to be on time. And I don't even have a strike on. Right? Damage comes from me sitting on pitch, I'm sitting on, right? And taking control by the swinging. Right? That's what hitting is. Hitting is controlled violence. Right? It's not violent violence. It's not controlled. It's a controlled violent act of hitting. Right? But way too many hitters. If I'm sitting on that fastball, and he throws me a pitch right in the outside black, nice pitch, brother. But 2/3 of that play, it could be here, or here. And I'm going to take a controlled violent swing on a pitch I'm looking for. I swear to you, I think that gets more guys out than anything in the game. Is we're trying to hit everything, we're not ready for anything. I'm sitting fastball. You know, I'm going to sit fastball and adjust. Yeah, that's easy. It might be 98 in your head, it might be sliding in the dirt. I'm going to adjust, though. You know? Makes no sense. So here's what happens. I'm sitting fastball. I'm timing 94. Now I leak a little bit. Oh, there's a breaking ball. This all goes, and now I take just a half swing, just put it in play. Now I'm mad run down one. And now you're sitting on the pitch. Damage comes, brother, from me sitting on something I'm going to get. Taking a controlled violent swing. And sometimes it's a breaking ball. My production doubled when I started sitting on something I was going to get rather than what I wanted to hit. And please don't take this the wrong way. Right? I always want you to sit fastball. I went 6,000 at bats trying to sit fastball until it's time not to. Right? Until it's time not to. And this is why we want this. This is why we're studying. This is why, I'm not screwing around in the dugout. I'm getting my at-bats off this guy. Mentally. Right? It's like I said, the mind doesn't know the body's not doing it. Right? How do you hit a breaking ball? During the game. You know what's coming, right? I know what's coming. Right? So if I'm sitting on off speed, I call it load and late. Right? The plate's right here. In my mind, I bring the plate back by the catcher. I don't have to jump out there like I'm timing 94. Right? I'm going to have slow feet. Right? Hitting is slow feet, fast hands, quiet head. Right? I think the feet scrub more hitters than anything in the game. Right? So now I'm going to zone up. Right? It's down, it's going to stay in. Right? And I think sitting on off speed and the two-strike hitting is very similar. Right? I can't think pull when I'm sitting off speed or when I got two strikes. If you're sitting pull, if you're thinking pull with two strikes on you and he throws you anything that's not a middle in fastball, it's a definite. Right? Because we're going to be coming in. Right? I would rather have my hitters take 2 fastballs out of 10, 2 inside fastballs out of 10 for strike 3. And we're trying to battle them, but then chase 8 breaking balls that are out in front. You guys hit right hand or left? Huh? Right. I've never seen you play. I guarantee you 70% of your strikeouts are chasing breaking balls that are making strikes. It's just the way it is. We're all right-handed. Mark Trumbo, he can chase a slider with the best of them. Right? I told Mark, I said, Mark, zone up and bring the plate back. Right? If it's down, it's going to stay down. I told him this like last year. He's like, really, buddy? You're dropping this on me now, 4 years later? Of course, this on year number 1. Right? So we're going to zone up. We're going to battle with 2 strikes. Being aware that you have 2 strikes on you. This is why we watch him. I got to know what his next pitch is. If he struck out 7 of the 8 guys on a slider, it's all percentages. It's educated guessing. It's educated. We're still going to battle with 2 strikes. If you don't like sitting on pitches, which I can't see anybody not thinking that I want to know what's coming, sit fastball away. And especially with 2 strikes. Because now we're going to bring the plate back. I don't have to get out there, right? So if I take fastball away, I'm letting the ball travel, right? Now I got enough weight back for off speed to take a decent swing on. Does that make sense? Right now it's a trap. Watch the pitcher. Every pitch he makes. I'm hunting the pitch until I get 2 strikes. I'm not just going to try and hit everything. It's not that easy. Right? It's just not that easy. Right? Everybody's like, oh, well, what's your take on seeing a lot of pitches? Not on it. That first pitch might be the best pitch you're going to get. Right? What are pitchers taught? Get ahead. Why am I going to give him a free strike? And now I don't know what's coming. I don't understand. Make him do a lot of pitches. Let's get him out of the game in the 5th, so we bring in the fresh guy throwing 98. Right? Makes no sense. Yeah, I'm crazy laughing out there. Might be my head, might be let's get his pitch count up. Okay. I don't get it. I mean, I was like those eight spring, man. I just wanted everything, man. Come on, bring it up there. Where's the ball? Is there a ball? I should already have this in my pocket, sorry. If I gave you guys a hitting lesson, you'd get sick of me talking about where we attack the baseball, right? It's on the inside part of the baseball, right? We all hear the analogy, stay inside the ball, right? Well, there's a huge difference between staying inside the ball and attacking the inside part of the baseball, right? I'm inside the ball right now. He's not going behind me for a strike. I'm inside, right? I will never not put a ball in a tee with these two seams right down there. Pitcher's up, okay. Pitcher's right there with these two seams down right there. You guys see that? This is the nut of the baseball right there. Right? This is where I want to attack. This over here, that's the side of the baseball. That's not what I'm talking about. This is the nut of the baseball right here, these two seams. This right here will create that. This over here will create that. Does that make sense? So now it's about contact point, right? Middle in, I don't want you hitting inside pitch to right foot if you're right-handed. You're hitting a bomb, I want you hitting it downward, right? But we're getting to right there and creating that backspin. I can't tell you how many balls I beat to the ground in the shortstop on trying to hit a home run, on pulling the pitch that shouldn't be pulled. Right? 2-0 fastball, middle away, and I had pull power, and boom, there's the ground ball short. Right? Good hitters use the whole field. Right? Derek Jeter attacks this as good as anybody. Him and Ichiro, in my opinion. Almost too much. Right? Now it's about contact point. So the pitcher's out there, contact point in the middle end is right here, middle is right there, and away is right here. It's not back here or smoke a fan over the dugout. Right? It's about right here, but where is that inside part of that baseball? And as a right-handed hitter, I need to be thinking right center. I'm not saying hit everything to right center, but I'm going to think. So like I said, if he throws a pitch right here, and I'm sitting on a fastball, nice pitch, buddy. 2/3 of this play. If I'm thinking, my mechanic's going through his left ear because I'm right-handed. If I get him towards his right ear, now I'm pulling off balls. Right, if I let the ball travel a little bit more, nice and relaxed, I'm going to take control of the swing, man. And I'm going to think right center, I'm going to drive it. Right? I think we get ourselves out by pulling pitches that shouldn't be pulled more than anything. Right? Be a good hitter. You know why we do this, in my opinion? Because we all got this much power to think we can hit a home run every single at bat. I'm telling you, if you ain't hitting 15 plus, don't hit anything. Be a good hitter. Right? My brother was 5'8", he didn't get that spurt. He had this much power to hit 8. And he was one of the best athletes I ever played with. Competed with for my whole life. Right? Know what type of player you are. Power comes down the road, guys. When you're 24, 25, 26. Right? Be a good hitter. And now it plays. Right? Dynamics, you watch the pitcher, hunt pitches, attacking the inside part of the ball. Right? Talk about breathing on my CD. Right? You're going to be your best athlete when your heartbeat is between 60 and 80. Right? Heartbeat between 60 and 80. I would scout, and I'd see a guy up there like this. It would actually make me hyperventilate and stand. I swear, it would affect my breathing. I'm like, come on, buddy. Don't affect my breathing, man. Right? Look hitterish. Right? I don't care if you go like this. I don't care if you go like this. How relaxed my hand is right there. 50,000 people, man. Right? Don't stand there like this. If I see you guys play this year, and I see you stand there like this, and he's giving you signs, I'm like, I'm slapping. Really hitters? 8 seconds. You got to sign you, and they're just frozen. Yeah. It's amazing. Give me a look. I call it dancing with the pitcher, and I'm the chick. I'm the girl. Sorry. I'm the girl. Right? He's got the ball. So I'm going to time my career violent swing, brother. Because that's what it is. It's controlled violence. Here's what a take should look like. Exhale. Blowing it out. If you guys bench press, you don't go like this. You don't go. You go. Right? Same thing with that. I'm going to time my breathing. I'm going to be aware of my breathing. So I'm a better athlete, right? You guys are brothers, right? When you get like that, relax, right? Loose muscles are quick muscles, right? Tension is an absolute killer in baseball. It's an absolute killer in baseball, tension, right? So this is one of the things that we have to be aware of, right? The heartbeat on defense. See, we're not that smart to remember everything that we're taught. Right? I knew I knew 4 things to be successful every single day. So I took a white piece of tape, I put breathe, call backside, attack the inside part of the ball, and I was a lunger, so I started with the stiff front leg, like that. I still got back into my load like this, my head was quiet, now if that's stiff, I can't go over. And I felt I saw the ball better, I still had good bat speed. I am not that smart to remember that every single day, so I wrote it down on a piece of tape, and I stuck it in my helmet, right inside part of my helmet. 500 at-bats a year. It's right there. Every Blue Jay has something written down in their helmet that they know they have to do to be successful. If I go in town, I sit in the dugout for 3 or 4 days, and I look at a helmet that's in there, I'll hide it from the guy. I said, where's my helmet? I don't know, man. Go check the tape room. There's some tape in it, and I'll do it, you know. It's crazy. We can just, oh, remember, I got it. Yeah, then you go for 8. Now all of that's breaking loose. So, breathing's huge, man. Be a good teammate. Right? Be a good teammate. My first 10 years that I played, every single team I was on was in the playoffs. Right? It was awesome. And I wasn't the main player. I didn't hit the 3-hole every year. A couple years I did. But the last 4 years, no playoffs, it was brutal. It sucked. It wasn't fun. Right? We need each other. This game is going to break you down enough. I don't need my player, my teammates, my coach, my parents to do it. Right? The game's going to do it by itself. When you build your teammates up, you're building yourself up. And when you break your teammates down, you're breaking yourself down. Okay? Don't be that guy. Oh, man, here he comes, man. And then the conversation stops because he's an idiot. Don't be that guy, man. Parents, let me give you a little tip. Your kids are playing the biggest self-esteem showing sport in the world. Let me tell you a story. I played tennis, right? Club champ, by the way, but that doesn't mean anything. And I'm playing with the mixed doubles with my partner, and I haven't met her boyfriend. She's been out for about a year. And I finally meet the guy. And I meet him, he knows I'm a baseball guy. He says, yeah, I coach my 7-year-old travel ball team. I said, nice. I said, so you know you're coaching the biggest self-esteem destroying sport in the world, right, bud? He's like, what? I said, well, your 7-year-old makes an error, he wants to cry. He's 7. The other team's cheering, he doesn't like that. The coach is yelling at him, that's you. And then he's got to ride home with you. I said, he's 7, he wants an ice cream, bud. Right? He's not your little Mike Trout yet, right? We get interrupted. Right? I don't see the guy for 2 months. I'm downtown Huntington Beach, and I'm having a glass of wine watching my boy Trumbo play for the Angels. And I see the guy. And he walks right up to me and he said, you changed my life. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you told me my son's playing the biggest self-esteem destroying sport in the world. You hit me right between the teeth. He said, I was so embarrassed, I couldn't even talk. Thank God we got interrupted. Now, 2 months later, I'm the most positive coach on the field. When I hear another coach yell at a 7-year-old, I cringe. Right? Me and my son go get an ice cream after the game. You were right. We have the best relationship ever right now. And my ex-wife, she wants to remarry me because she can't believe it's me. Sorry about that one, buddy. No, hopefully they got along better now. He's changed, right? But that's what we do. We love him so much. Don't we? We die for him. Right? Raise your hand if you die for your kid. Absolutely. But what do we do when they're playing? Boom! Mental dagger in the back. Come on, what are you doing? It's mind-blowing. We love them more than anything. My next CD is called Help, I'm the Parent of a Travel Ball Kid. And it's for parents. Because I know you love them, man. But more kids will quit this game at 13 years old because of the pressure that is put on them when they're 8 to 12 by the one who loves them the most. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Because we want what's best for them. But how do we do it? You know what you do? You build them up. Right? If you're not at that game, not at their game, it's not how many hits you did, how many good at-bats you have, bud. How the team do. Right? Make it fun. Too many players play this game like it's a 3-hour timeout. It's not a 3-hour timeout, it's a 3-hour game. Right? That's what it is. When I coached my 11 and 12-year-old with Rich Amaral, our kids the same age, right? We would put little cue stickers on the back of their helmet if they had a quality at-bat. And these kids loved it. There was no crying. It wasn't about getting the hit anymore. It was about getting that cue on the back of their helmet. And we were so lenient, right? If they put the ball in play, get your helmet over that boy, right? We built them up. We had the biggest spaz in the league on our team. He was on our team. And if he fouled the ball off, we made him feel like he was Mike Trout. You know, that was awesome. Did you see that little kite? You took your helmet over that boy. You should see him smile, man. His parents absolutely loved us because nobody ever built his son up in sports. You couldn't. He was too big a spaz. Right? We did. Right? Parents will give you a tip. We all want these kids to play at the next level. We all want to play in college. We all want to play pro baseball. I guarantee they're all going to grow up to be men. Right? Not everybody's going to be a baseball player, man. But there's so many life lessons in baseball you can learn to be a great competitor, to be a good teammate that's going to help you in life. And it's amazing. I see it. I get emails from parents. You know, oh, little Johnny's great in the cage, and he freezes in the game. Thousands of that. That same one. And I'll call the lady back, because I call everybody back, and I say, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but somebody has turned your little Messiah into a perfectionist. And get ready for him to quit by the time he's 13. I spoke in Lansing, Michigan, 30 14-year-old girls and their parents. It's not my target audience, right? 14-year-old girls getting sitting, I was talking to the parents. I had a mom come up to me afterwards, almost in tears. She said, number one, you're the best public speaker I've ever heard, and now I need to go apologize to my daughter. I'm like, oh. I was hoping she was like 8, she was 17. But it's not too late even at then, because she can still play in college. Right? We love them, man. Let's start building our kids up. Right? Let's build them up. And any of you coaches, how many coaches are here? Right? Players need to know that you care before they care what you know. They need to know that you care, man. I can tell 100 Blue Jays go stand in the corner and put a piece of crap on their shoulder and they'll do it. Because they know that I care. Right? Coaching is building them up, breaking them down, and building them up again. Right? I don't care if you hate that kid. You better give him 2 seconds and nice before you coach him. And then you build him up. Somebody comes at me with a negative, and I'm 53 years old. Back in the house. Sorry, buddy. Right? Build me up a little bit, then try to give me a little constructive criticism. What you got? Just the way it is. Is defense important? Guys, defense is important, man. Nobody's playing in the big leagues if you cannot play at least average big defense right now. It's just not happening anymore. There's no Manuel Ramirez floating around there anymore. Right? Maybe Big Pop, you better rake, right? You gotta be able to hit, you gotta be able to play defense. What are the infielders there for? I'll improve your range, sitting in that chair if you don't know this. Right? You need to be thinking 2 things and 2 things only in my opinion. 1, every single pitch is going to be hit to you. And it's going to be a missile hit. It's going to be as hard as it can be hit to you. Or be between 60 and 80 on defense too. Right? Don't give me Johnny Camp guy. You know, right? It's slowing down. Part between 60 and 80, it's going to be a missile hit to me. I need 7 guys thinking it is going to be hit to me, not to my left. And you need to be thinking side to side, left and right. I don't get beat on balls in front of me unless it's swinging by. I don't get beat balls behind me unless it's looped. I get beat left and right. I got to be ready to go left and right. And we all see Dustin Pedroia with the 4 foot up in the air. I'm not on it. I'm not on it. Looks great. He's great. But if he's this far off the ground, and that ball has hit contact, that is this far where he's not getting that jump. And sometimes he might be this high in the ball's head, so now he's got to come down and go. Right? You cannot have any weight going forward when that ball crosses the plate, or you're going to have to take a false step. I know we're all taught, hey, give me a little bit of rhythm, and then I got this, and then I go like this, and the ball's over there, I got to take a false step, and I got to cross over. Man, I should have had that. Nice and relaxed, I'm in the game mentally, heartbeat low, starts delivering when the ball's at my feet. 53 years old, bro. Nice. So pull my groin there a little bit. Gotta stop doing that. Right? Side to side, man, left and right. That's where we get beat. Right? No, I gotta look cool, man. I gotta look good. Johnny Cook, you know. Watch big leaguers, man. I played with Omar Vizquel a little bit in spring training. Nobody played the game that was more relaxed than this guy. Outfielders get good jumps, man. Right? Don't be thinking about your hitting. Don't be see out there like this. Right? Now, really, I'm not looking for 3 hours of focus on defense. I'm really looking for about 3 seconds every 15 seconds of focus. Right? I'm fine if you're, you know. But when that guy starts to deliver, buddy, it is coming to you. It's not like, is that my girlfriend? Who's she talking to? And then all of a sudden, you know, get a bad jump. Right? So play good defense, man. I'm a huge believer in long toss. Right? You got one arm, man. It's not good. That's not going to help you. Every single one of you guys can get a better arm by playing long toss. Right? And everybody's got their own long toss. But I know one thing, it's not 120 feet. Right? I used to play long toss every day, nice and hot. I'd be the guy that's going out to center field. I'm not letting somebody else dictate how far I'm going to throw. Right? Because I know what it feels like to throw 250 to 350 nice and high and come into 90 feet. That was my one tool that I could do that I played long toss every day. Right? JagerSports.com. It's in my video. I talked about it. Highly recommend his tuning in his video. He's got one arm. And if you lose it, it's not good. Lifting weights. Right? You've got to lift. There's no more injections. That guy's out of the game. I was one cycle away from you guys knowing who I was. I didn't know it. Right? Get in the gym, do your hands, do your grippers. The hands you do every single day. Right? Make sure you stretch them. Right? Hitting slow feet, fast hands, quiet head. Tall backside. You guys are going to hear me say tall backside on my CD. Right? I was in Rochester one night. Hey, that's where we're at, right? My first AAA game I played here. But this is about 10 years ago. I'm still in the league. And I had Gary Sheffield bat speed. And I'm throwing it straight back and 7-second pop-ups. Right? My buddy's like, Springer, collapsing your backside. He said, visualize that you're a TR7. Older people, remember that car? Makes sense. Younger people, this is the roof of the car, and this is the hood of the car. Right? A lot of kids will go the opposite way, and they're like this, and this is up, and this is down, and now we've got the early collapse. Right? And anytime you guys start throwing stuff straight back and right on, 7-second pop-up, just think tall backside. Right? I knew I had great bat speed. This guy's thinking he's blowing by me. First pitch home run. I knew I had great bat speed. So that's what I teach now. I got interviewed by the Colorado Rockies last year to be the Major League hitting coach. Bill Guybett calls me and Walt Weiss is on the phone, right? For 30 minutes, I give him the same spiel I just gave you guys right here. And he goes, Spring, what about mechanics? I didn't say one word about mechanics in 30 minutes. So mechanics is slow feet, fast hands, quiet head, tall backside, attacking the pitch I'm looking for. Now let's talk about competing with confidence to help our team. Because that's what you guys are missing. Right? These guys have had the same swing since they were 8. It's not about the swing. It's about getting great at showing up with confidence. It's about great at showing up helping my team win. And it doesn't mean you're getting 3 hits. You might. Right? It's crazy. 1/5 at bat, man. Be the hero on the night. That's what it's all about, man. Winning the game. We put it so much on me. It was all about me. How many hits did you You know, the Kansas City Royals played about 60 playoff games last year in a row. They had to get into the series, so every game is a playoff game. This is why they were so good in the playoffs, in my opinion. This is why they were so great at one-run games. Yeah, they had a big bullpen. They were used to doing it. So everything that I talked about right here, I feel it's right. Hopefully you guys do. And now it's up to you on what you're going to do with the CD. Right? Parents, I want you to get great at knowing what I teach, because I'm not going to be around after today. Right? You know exactly what I teach now. It's on the CD. Right? And now you got little Johnny out there. Build him up. Every hand went up when I said who wants to play in college. Every hand went up when I said who wants to play pro baseball. I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but not everybody's going to play pro baseball. But you don't tell me that if you're in this room, in this academy, working with this guy and this staff, that you cannot get a college education out of this game. You cannot tell me that. There are so many schools across the country that I've never heard of that I speak at, because they got $3 grand. I'll be there, right? So, Northwestern, Oklahoma, Southwestern. Where is that? I don't know, they had $3 grand, so I went, right? And it's amazing how many schools are out there. It does not have to be a D1 program, right? Not everybody's a D1 player. I would rather play at D2 or D3 than sit the bench at D1. Right? Scouts see those other teams. Very few people get missed nowadays. Right? We don't miss you. Right? So you know what you do when you go to college, right? You marry a softball player. Right? If you throw a girl a ball, she goes like this, pass. That was a joke. My wife's dad's like 5'8". I never met him. I don't marry her if I knew that. I'm kidding. 25 years in February. My son's Milton Bradley trapped in David Eckstein's body. Good combo. He's tiny with an attitude. I'm really just thinking like a kid, you know. So, what was the most important thing that I said in the last hour? Batting average? No. Probably in the 2 book. Compete with confidence? It's right. Probably the same way. The most important thing I said in the last hour is get good grades. Right? Get good grades, man. Let your ability dictate where you're going to go to school. Right? Don't be like me. Don't be that guy that did. And don't get me wrong, I can play some badminton. Right? I beat the number 3 guy in the state 5 times in a row before he beat me. Coach was like, man, you got to come out with the team. Same season as baseball, buddy. Get good grades, man. Get grades. Do you know how much your parents love you, guys? Huh? Let me give you a little tip. You're their little messiah. Right? They love you more than anything. Don't disrespect your moms, man. Your moms are gold. My mom passed away 4 years ago. Sucked, man. Greatest lady ever. Your mom is gold. You go to travel ball kids. Hey, Mom, give me Gatorade! Go get some water. Right? I don't care if you pop off to your dad. He'll smoke it. Moms are gold, man. They love you. They love you so much, man. And like I said earlier, I'm a Christian, man. God loves you guys, man. Jesus loves you, man. For 25 years, I had God behind a billboard with a radar gun waiting to track me. It's not who he is, man. He's love, grace, and mercy. He loves you. If you're searching for him, just ask him to come in, man. Because he will. And he loves you. So, I want to thank my man here, Matt, and Mark, for bringing me in here. I love it. I love speaking. I hope I inspired today. I hope I taught you something. Right? Stop letting your mind get in the way of your ability. Right? And I'm talking about life. I'm talking about anything. You take this mentality into life. How many salesmen we got in here? Anybody sell? Ever go into a selling slump? Same thing. Get great at showing up with opening day in your job. I spoke to a $60 million valve company selling valves to oil fields, right? I've never even heard of this business. $60 million, 60-year company. I go, the analogy of baseball and sales. Because that's about the only job where you can go 3 for 10 and be a millionaire. Right? And I told these guys, I gave them permission not to get the sale. Right? They're looking at me like, you're an idiot. I'm like, no, get great at showing up and knowing your product and giving you the best deal. Get great at showing up with that, but you will get sales. Right? But we want the sale before we go to the other approach. Right? In this company, it wasn't even a cold call. They called in. And I'm like, isn't that like fishing in a bucket, buddy? Isn't it your job not to screw it up now? Right? And knowing what you're talking about, knowing what you're teaching, and going with an opening day mentality. Because that guy that you're on the phone with has no idea that you got shut out 5 times yesterday. But here's in sales, we go, give the best presentation in the world. The guy says, no. And then another one, no. No. And then at the end of the day, you're like, come on, buy this, buddy. And it changes who you are. Right? Don't let that change who you are, man. Opening day mentality. This company had the best September by 28% in 60 years. Just by getting their people to focus on today and the process of what it is to get the sale. Mind-blowing. Right? So I'm talking about what? I'm talking about doing extra homework. Oh, that sucks, right? But it's worth it, man. Right? Being prepared. Everybody's like, oh, you get nervous speaking? Yeah, if they ask me a chemistry question. Right? I'm talking baseball. I'm going to open it up for questions, and there'll probably be 0, because nobody wants to talk. So if anybody has any questions, please, I'm going to be here. My flight's at 4. Go home. And anybody have any questions? Yeah.
So I love that, because I coach up in different sports, but it's all, I say the same thing about the process and about the product. But what do you tell them when the major leaguers go, yeah, but I'm paid to produce my paycheck, and they're like, how do you combat that?
Trying to help them get paid. I know what I'm teaching is right. I've seen it too many times. I'll give you an example. Again, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I'm in Anaheim, and he's doing flips with our hitting coach. And this guy was in full-on pout mode doing flips, straight flips. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? This goes back to the insecurity of baseball players. And Trumbo, who I've been talking to for 5 years, just struck out 4 times the night before. And I'm sitting in a chair and I get a text from Trumbo, and it says, don't think I didn't want the 5th at bat. And I'm like, I know, buddy, that's what it's not. So it takes time, just because, here's how quickly my stuff goes. Man, I just heard Steve Springer, man, it was awesome. I just hit 3 balls right on the screws, I didn't get any hits. And I'm okay because I just heard him speak. And then today you do nothing right, you get no hits, and now it's all, I'm going to get a hit. And that's how quickly it starts. So this is why I feel God put me in AAA for 11 years to do what I'm doing now, teaching you on how to get great at doing what I'm talking about. Because it's easier said than done. Right? There's no truer statement in my CD. You want to have fun? Get hits. Right? It's the greatest game in the world. We're getting our knocks. Right? Yeah, dig yourself getting those hits, right? Dinner tastes better. Food tastes good. I think that girl looked at me, right? And then all of a sudden, man, I'm 1 for 20. And, oh, man, food sucks. I'm in a bad mood. I'm telling you guys, if you don't go 1 for 20 30 times, you can play long. It's 4 games. 4 games down now. And yet you did everything right, some of us. It's crazy what we think success is. And it's crazy when you change what you think success is, how much freedom there is. There's so much freedom when you say, I don't care what I hit, man. I'm going to compete. I'm going to try and help my team today. It's mind-blowing. I've seen it so many times. I just spoke to the University of Oregon girls softball team and their baseball team. And one of the girls was like, do you have a psychology major? And I'm like, I can't spell psychology, man. I got School of Hard Knocks. I won 1 for 20 30 times. I know what it's like. You're not going to trick me with a question. They were 1 game away from the championship series, and the coach called me a week after it was over, because he likes my CD. And these girls were awesome. They get it. Right? But I'm telling you, I know what it's like bringing yesterday. Get great at showing up the opening day. Have 140 opening days to see what happens. Do not underachieve. It's absolute freedom. Anything else? Yeah.
What recommendations do you make for kind of the mental preparation in the on-deck circle while you're preparing to come into the batter's box? Because a lot of kids are sitting around.
It needs to be a carryover from the dugout to the on-deck circle to the bat. And getting the kids, especially at that age, to focus can be tough, right? But just get them to keep watching the pitcher. You know, I talk about watching the pitcher, and I usually say, I'll give anybody in my house in Huntington Beach if there's a chemistry test in the third inning. There won't be. The pitcher's the test. Keep your eyes on the pitcher. The more you see him, the more, comfortable you're going to feel. What's your name, brother? Dylan? I told you that the Blue Jays just drafted you. You're a phenom. You're like Mike Trout. And you're going to be straight to the big leagues, and you're going to lead off, and you have to face Max Scherzer, and you don't get to see a warm-up pitch. Not very good, right? Now I tell you, you're still on the team, and you're going to hit ninth. You get to watch every warm-up pitch. You get to watch 8 hitters in front of you. You probably hit one off his neck, right? Right? There's just more comfort when I see him. So just keep him on there. I think at that age, too, a lot of kids go, if it's a strike, I'm going to swing. Too late. It's going to be a strike until it's not. And I'm swinging. And I'm going to swing it hard. Right? Not if it's a strike. It's too late then. Right? I like zoning up. I think a lot of kids they collapse early. Right? So if I'm a hitter, I'm going to zone. It's like I can look away and still hit in. I can't hit in and look away. And then I think it's the same thing. Everybody's like, oh man, he has a tough time with the high pitch. Well, that's because they're looking down here, right? I would look up in here, and I can hit the high pitch. Because I'm looking for it, I'm staying tall, and now I have a way easier time going down on the ball instead of up on the ball, right? So let's zone up in here, right? Zone up in here and away, and I can hit a whole bunch of pitches. So basically, it's just being ready and swinging it hard. Building them up. I love the little Q on the back of the helmets, man. Go to some embroidery place, buy 1,000 Qs for like $10, and be so lenient with them, right? So lenient, because the whole goal is to get little Johnny to walk up there with confidence. That's the whole goal, right? I had the girls softball team from Notre Dame call me up. She says, "Do you think a quality at bat is a 2-0 jam shot, even though they got a hit?" And I said, "Technically, no, but give it to them because we're all going to get it." Right? And I don't want the girl feeling she got pencil whipped, and now here comes non-confidence, and the whole thing is about confidence. Right? If you tell me that makes a girl confident, get the cheap hit, put it on the board. Because that's what we're going back to, the confidence thing. And not beating ourselves up. Because that's what we do, we beat ourselves up way too much.
Yeah. When I'm doing my lessons, doing my clips, I say the word "you're all right" 85,000 times a day. You're all right, all right. Can you touch one more time on the verbiage in the car ride home after they go over 4 briefcases and get 2 balls? Because as far as I'm concerned, when I'm hearing this, I'm the only one that's played and done. They're still playing. They're all still playing. Everything he's saying is so easy now, but where are we going to be in 4 months? Where are we going to be after that? That over 4, that over 4 day high school baseball is 3 degrees outside. The car ride home to me, because I was terrible. My mom was supposed to be here. She'd be going, So over 4, 3 Ks, kick the ball in the 7th. It's the car ride home.
Families, and it's a touchy situation because, it's like I said, these kids are playing the biggest self-esteem restoring sport in the world. They just got beat up 7 times. 4 punch-outs, 2 errors, or another one. I mean, now they're going to get hit by you. It's so important that, hey, buddy, how was your effort today? How was, things didn't go well. Oh, guess what? Sun's coming up. You got another game tomorrow. This is the beautiful thing about baseball, right? I'll tweet it all the time. And this is one of my things is I have a Twitter account, @QualityAtBats. Follow me on Twitter. I shoot out tweets, right, to remind you guys, right, that we are playing a long time, right? I almost forgot, everybody here could get a free month in my online academy. I have an online academy, QualityAtBatsAcademy.com. Right? Get a free month in. Right? You can upload your son's swing, your daughter's swing. You can ask me a question. I got over 30 video clips that you can watch. We're doing homework assignments. We just did one on 2 straight innings, right? Upward swing, we'll take a look at it. You can ask me a question during the week. One out, get out and get on 29, you won't be charged. And after that, it's only $29.99 a month. Get out whenever you want to. I'm not in to try to steal anybody's money, but it's right, it's building, and you know, the mental side is going to be everything, man. So, and what he's saying, just keep building up, man. We're all going to have tough games. I struck out 6 times in one day in a doubleheader, right? I'm 0-2 quicker than crap my 7th at bat. I leak the ball in the left field for a hit. I come in the dugout, so nobody strikes me out 7 times in a row. I think 6, man, not 7. And oh yeah, after my 5th one of my buddies put a roll of ham in my finger hole, in my glove. I'm like, what? So I go push my hand in and stick it down there even more. Because I was a grape guy. I would put like grapes in his glove and loosen everything up. A roll of ham in my glove. You gotta be able to laugh at yourself, man. We put too much pressure on ourselves, man. The anxiety is a killer in this game. It's a killer in life. It's a choice now to how we're going to act. Right? Make good choices.
But on a lot of the younger teams, there's usually 2 dads coaching, and what happens in the dugout is the kids are left alone. Do you recommend always having a coach in the dugout at the younger age to help manage the game? So you really need 3 coaches, coaches around the field to help pick up those things? A lot of teams struggle with how many dads or how many coaches you have on your roster, say 12 or 15.
Yeah, I think as long as it's the right dad, and the dad that's going to have a positive attitude, it's like I said, I mean, God bless parents, man. I mean, you guys have time and you want to do what's right, but now we got to do it right. And that's one of my favorite lines, is that your kid's playing the biggest self-esteem destroying sport in the world. He doesn't need you to beat him up. He doesn't need his teammates to beat him up. He doesn't need his parents or his coaches. The game will do it by itself. Right? Everybody says it's a game of failure. Well, we better change what we think success is then to get an edge. I told Goldsmith once, I want you to go over 5 tonight. Stick with it. Yeah, because then when you do it, you won't be that pissed. Now, anytime you get a hit, it's like a free hit. Just trying to trick the mind any way that we can. And getting the right parents that's positive. See, it comes from you guys. They're going to learn what you teach them. They're at that age. That's why I love the little sticker reward. Because now it wasn't about getting hits. It wasn't about, nobody cried. We won it all, right? We had good little athletes, but we had fun, right? And that's what it's got to be from 8 to 12. More kids quit at 13. They're not ready to feel the pressure that we put on them. I'm telling you. Big leaguers are. Big leaguers can't handle it. First rounders can't get an A-ball because of this, and we're expecting an 8 to 12-year-old to get a hit every time out. And it's 9 against 1. And he didn't get a hit. And now what happens in his little mind? Failed. What happens more? He failed again. Then he failed again. Pretty soon he's like, you know what? I don't like this feeling. I don't want to play anymore. And now I get the email, oh, little Johnny, you don't want to play. And I'm like, well, that's what happens. Because we've turned it into a 3-hour timeout instead of a 3-hour game. I feel I should be the ambassador for youth baseball. And I don't mean to boast. I just know when I'm teaching is right. I've seen too many examples. We love them. Right? How do we do it? If you've ever yelled at a 12-year-old, and under, give yourself a 3-hour timeout. Because that's what you just put the kid in. You put him in the fun. When you yell at a 12 and under kid, you are not coaching him, you are humiliating him in front of his peers. That's what you're doing. And then we love it. And we don't want that, but we don't realize it. I did it. I mean, to be holier now. I got kicked out of a 12-year-old all-star game. It was the umpire. He sucked. All I said was, can you try not to be a factor in the game, bud? You're out. That was embarrassing. And my boss was there with the back. Well, I was coaching there, scouting there. So I don't think all those things very early now, huh? I'd be embarrassed. But I know what this is right, and this is right, and it's about getting positive influences in these kids' lives. Every hand went up and got their kid. Well, get rid of the mental daggers to them when they're 8, 12. And it's a tough time, too, because at some age, man, these little kids, some of them are little punks, and they need a little bit of you got, bud? Well, hopefully they won't do that anymore. All right? And then now I'm your coach because you got my CD. So we just got to let it go. All right? And players, I mean, you guys right here. If somebody makes you good, right, and you don't get something on audio nowadays, right? Because we give ourselves too much credit on the top. Right? Like I said, with the Blue Jays, every single player has their own personal CD of being talked about. Right? So you got, who's your favorite hitting coach? Besides being that. That's good. But give me somebody like working with. Well, you just got traded, so when you find somebody with Washington that you know that I like that guy, say, man, fuck you about me 15 minutes. We're going to have it the rest of your life. Anything else? Go ahead.
Do you feel the definition of a quality at bat changes at all as a kid moves from like Little League to junior high?
Yeah, it does. Yes, does the quality at bat change? Yeah, with 8 to 12, be as lenient as you can be. They put a ball in play out, boy, give them a sticker. 90% of the quality at bat, in my mind, is how you feel when you walk up to the plate. Do I know I can hit it or am I hoping to hit it? All right, there's a huge difference in that. Right? When somebody asks you guys what you do for a living, my whole life I had just a little bit of, make sure it's not coming out my head, right? It's amazing how I play. That's why when I was facing the lefty, I felt like I was cheating. Right? No fear factor, everything's coming into me. Right? Now I got the crazy left, now they go 98, might be my head might be sliding in the third. I'm looking middle in. Gotta get out of there, you guys know what live EP, right? It sucks, right? It's the worst. The number one goal? Get out of there healthy. Get out of there healthy. That's pitching practice. Right? Guys, don't be afraid to play. It doesn't hurt that much. You're helping your team. You got to learn how to get out of the way of the pitch, too. It doesn't look like this. It looks like this. You work your back and then you act like you're tough and run back. That's the first base. I think I got hit like 15 times in my life. Yeah, man, freaking Joe Willard put that fear in me. Anything else? Yeah, bud.
Through many years, as the kids get older, they talk about size of bat, this and that. We first came here, and I asked Matt, he goes, "Get hit with it?" He goes, "Yeah." Sort of confusing. Well, what's your opinion on size of bat and its relative to kids? Because they'll think, "What bat you have?" So,
We'll give him the $600 back. Sure. My dad would have said, "Hey, what? Here's a bat for playing against sports, bro. Go get him." It's not necessarily the bat. It's not the arrow. It's the Indian, right? Get a bat. I like as long as it's a sturdy bat. It's about bat speed. Like my whole life, I swung like a 35, 32, a really big bat, 267. And then I had shoulder surgery, and I dropped to a R161, which was a thick bat, thick handle, 33.5, 31. And I wish I would have had that my whole life. Because it had a good barrel, and it's all about bat speed. Right? I want bat speed. I don't need necessarily heavy. I want to be able to have bat speed as long as it's a good grain. I'll tell you one more story. This is my career in a nutshell. All right? I finally get called up to the big leagues with the Mets. I went on, I was a 6-year free agent, I left, and I got up with the Indians for like 3 weeks. I went 2 for 12, which reminds me of another story. I'm in the clubhouse, and I see Jeff Manto, and I'm like, sweet, they called you up? And they forgot to tell me I was going down. So that sucked. And then I re-signed with the Mets in 1992, and I hit 290 with 16 home runs, 70 RBIs, an MVP of the team, and I finally get called up. Ron Washington, my favorite coach ever, I'm playing for Clint Hurdle. Those two guys are just absolute studs, right? And I get called up on August 10th. I'm there for like 10 days. There's like 5 days left in the season, and I got 2 at-bats, 0 for 2 off of Mitch Williams and Randy Myers pinch hit. So we're in Frisco, and he had to walk down to the clubhouse after a game we won. I'm walking with Jeff Torborg, who's the manager. We're facing Trevor Wilson the next day, and I played against him AAA, and I said, hey, Jeff, just for the record, the guy we're facing tomorrow, I shot AAA. Just kept walking, right? Just put it in his mind. I come up the next day, and I'm in the money, right? I go 2 for 3 with a double, digging myself, we win the game, we're walking in, I just about ready to go to my locker, hey, Spring! And I get called in the manager's office. Before I can put my hat in my locker, I get sent down. Right? And they go, we're probably going to call you up in 5 days, but we need a pitcher. I'm like, okay. So I go down for 5 days. 2 days later, they trade David Cohn to Toronto for Ryan Thompson and some stiff named Jeff Kent. Yeah, 2 for 1. Stole my parking spot. All right, so I don't get a call up. It was brutal. The next year, I re-signed with the Mets. And we're in like May, and I go to Clint, Clint's my manager again, he's like, what am I eating when you got the kid in college? It's like, what? Talk about. See, everybody looks at the papers, you gotta be kidding me. I used another word, but I'm gonna say kid right now. And he's 2 days later, calls me in the office and he goes, you gotta be kidding me. I said, I'm going out? He says, yeah, you're going to Montreal. Right? So I high-five everybody, call my wife, call my parents, just about ready to leave the clubhouse. Spring! Come back in there, and just Huntley hits a 3-run bomb in the ninth. They play 4 more innings. They use 4 more pitchers. Now they don't want to get caught on short on pitching. I'm like, you kidding me, bud? And he's like, I wish I was, right? So that was my career in that show. Like I said, man, I feel blessed to say I got 2 hits in each league, but you can't tell me I could have got 5 years in. And but I love what I'm doing now, man.
You're teaching what you're missing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've been speaking. I made this CD 15 years ago. I updated. You guys got the Q2, the updated version, and I hope you like it. But I'll hang around for a little bit. Again, man, thank you, buddy, and God bless you all. Thank you.